What's good, 2 minute warning fans? Last week was a good episode. We had a good draft. I know I'm a little dark, but I'm working my lighting a little bit. We got Dula back. We got Tim back. It was a good show. A little quick recap of the last week draft. I guess we're just gonna kick it off right now. Tim, let's go.
Well, first of all, before we kick off, I got a couple of things to say. Um, I know we missing some of our 2 minute Fury brothers. I know Dilla right now is picking apples on an apple tree. Basically, what he's doing is he is collecting the apples for charity. So every touchdown that Eli Apple gives up will be donated to the Giants funds. If you want to donate, it's www.sleepoveratgiants.com. www.sleepoveratgiants.com. I know Josh is still protesting at Giant Stadium in front of Jay Reese's office. Okay, and I know right now Lewis is in DR taking salsa lessons with Victor Cruz and the rest of the people. But here's the thing: what I'm sick and tired is that not Mike Mayock, who I love, not Mel Kiper, who I love, and not Tom McShay, who I love. It was Della who did his mock draft, and he said the New York Giants are taking Eli Apple. Eli Apple. Every pick was pretty much the same. But Della came out and said, listen, I feel Eli Apple. No, Della, I don't see it happening. The Giants don't go that way. They do. It's Christmas. We're going to get a Shaq Lawson in our table. No, you know what? Maybe a Hargraves. No, I don't see that, Della. Della preached on and said, Eli Apple. And last week, we saw a couple of Giant fans just lost it. They lost it. And I'm sorry, but in 2017, when Dulles says the New York Giants is trading the number one overall pick at the first round, you best believe him. Believe him. He's here. He don't do this for play. He don't do this for fun. This is Della mother effing Kuiper here. Deep Della. Preach on, brother. What a great draft last week. Great draft.
Oh, man.
And one more thing. And you know what about Della? My our 2 minute warning draft guru here? He may not have the hair like Mel Kiper, where it's falling apart, but he damn sure know how to wear a bow tie. Go ahead.
Oh, man. Well, listen, it was a very interesting draft, you know. And, this thing about mock drafts, you never know. I would say outside of the first two picks, we're pretty set. We knew it was going to be quarterbacks back-to-back. I think most said Goff and then Wentz. I think I was the crazy one that said Wentz and Goff. But, man, at number 3, it got interesting.
Yes.
When they took Joey Bosa, it was like, oh,
yes,
this is going to be fun. And then Dallas at 4 follows up and makes it funner by taking Ezekiel Elliott, which, the rumors were out there like, okay, it's going to be Zeke or Jalen Ramsey. All right, cool enough. Jags go 5. And then one of the big stories was the falling of Laramie Tunsil. Man, he didn't fall that far. He only fell to 13 to Miami. Which, you know what? If Laramie Tunsil turns out to become an all-pro, then listen, it's a steal. We'll forget about that video. Actually, I'll never forget about that video.
Yes.
And, from there, you see that happen. You see a couple trades. You see the Browns trade twice. They go from 2 to 8, 8 to 15. Get some picks. You see the Titans trade back up into the top 10 like people thought they would.
Right.
Get Jack Conklin. And at number 10, now, if you watched that show last week, when I was watching the draft, there was a little delay. All I saw was Tim laughing and Josh, holding his hands in his head and saying no. And then bust out laughter. And then I see the TV. It's Eli Apple. Like I said. Listen, I'll say it. I'm going to say this once again. We're in a league where it's a passing league where people like big corners. Eli Apple's a big corner. Now, is he hands-on? Yeah, a bit too much. Does he have the best recovery speed? Maybe not. But if Eli Apple, turns out to be a Charles Woodson type player or Champ Bailey, no one's going to care. It's not really a reach. That's why the word reach you have to be careful with. Because if the player pans out to be very good or good for that, spot in the draft, it's not really a reach. In fact, all these projections will make, it's really on paper. We don't know how these guys are going to pan out. For all I know, Ezekiel Elliott struggles to find the field in the first year in Dallas. I don't think he will, but maybe he does, maybe not. For all I know, Taylor Decker can't find the field, for the Detroit Lions. It's a crapshoot. But, man, it's fun to speculate on. You got to admit. It was one hell of a draft going down that entire first round. You got Carl Joseph going that high. You got Keanu Neal. That was another surprise. You had the 49ers trading back in for Joshua Garnett out of Stanford. That was a big surprise. Miles Jack out of the first round. That was a big surprise.
Hey, wait a minute. You know what? We also got to thank Sean. Sean kept on preaching O-line. O-line. He damn near made a song, O-line. And Seattle Seahawks drafted an offensive line. And from what I was hearing, the Cowboys were trying to make a move with the Seahawks to move up and try to get Patrick Lynch. The Seahawks said, you know what? We're going to stick with our moves. They stood there, and they drafted the offensive line out of A&M. Listen, it was a very good draft. It was mostly, basically on value, which I feel bad against Giant fans, but the rest of the picks was good. Della, not for that, I believe the Jacksonville Jaguars had the best draft out of everybody. For them getting Jalen Ramsey, and then in the second round, they took a chance on Miles Jack. Especially with his injury. Then they came out and got I like Sheldon Day in the fourth round, the big defensive tackle who they compared to Donald out of the Rams. So I think Jacksonville had the best draft, in my opinion.
I would actually say, sorry, were you gonna say something?
No, go ahead.
All right. I did like Jacksonville's draft. I think they're really building a nice defense down there. If Miles Jack's knee holds up, you get Jalen Ramsey, you get Dante Fowler Jr. back. Listen, that's one hell of a team that they're building. I really like the Baltimore Ravens draft. I think at number 6 they stood pat and got Ronnie Stanley, the guy they really wanted. But then, in some later rounds, they get a few players that I really like. They got Bronson Kafusi, I think, in the third round. Very versatile player, played for BYU. Probably going to line up at defensive end, play some linebacker. They got another guy who I thought was going to fly into the first round, and I think his name is Kalame Correa, out of Boise State. Those two are pretty much your future. I think they're going to replace, Terrell Suggs. And I think they're and they went back to back with those guys to, get some pass rush production. I think that was a team last year that their record, they had a ton of injuries, Joe Flacco. I think they could come back this year and, make a run towards winning that division again. I really like their draft.
You know what? And it's hard for me to keep this inside. I know it is. But I love my Cowboys draft picks. I really love my Cowboys draft picks. I love the fact we got the player who's going to be instant impact. Yes, I did say during last week's draft about getting Ramsey. But the thing with Ramsey is he's more of a player you got to find out, is he better corner or is he better for safety? With Zeke, he is an instant impact right now around Romo, a healthy Dez, and hopefully a healthy offensive line. I love the fact they took a chance on Jalen Smith because they knew the inside track as far as about his injury. We have a chance to play, and coming from even though the head doctors worked for Dallas, the head surgeon who did the procedure on Jalen Smith, they feel good about it. I like that pick. I like the pick. Dak Prescott, they finally drafted a quarterback. Not saying he's going to be the future, but I tell you this, he'll be much of an improvement over Moore. You know what I'm saying? Give him another year, let him progress. So I like my Cowboys draft picks.
Well, I guess we're gonna move on quick to the next down. But before, there's this one draft pick that I think I did ask you a question for Tim not too long ago. Joey Hunt. Now he was a defensive player in college, but they drafted him as a center. Is that a smart move?
Della. Well, being a Della, the group, I'll tell you this. The Seahawks did their homework. If they needed an offensive line, they went from tackle. They got the tackle in the first round, and again, they got the center, Joey Hart. That is a smart move. The guy can play center.
All right. I mean, what do you think, Dula? Joey Hunt.
Tom Cable. Listen, Tom Cable's been the best in business at taking some of these defensive guys and turning them into offensive linemen. So, I'm gonna give him the deference on that. You did get Jermaine Afidi, but listen, he's done a good job of taking some of these late round guys who are ends or tackles or even tight ends and converting them into offensive linemen that are capable of getting the job done.
All right. Okay.
And he's 3-year starter too. So.
All right, guys. We'll be right back shortly with the second down.